Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Obioma, and yeah, if you're seeing this face for the first time, thank you. Hi, welcome to my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. You guys are all welcome. Okay, sorry, this is another sit down video, I think in continuation to my last video. And if you've not seen my last video, okay, you guys can just go ahead and see the last video. I talked about the admission process, how I got my admission, and also my travel vlog. You can just bench watch and watch those ones. And don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to also share these videos. Okay, just help someone out there. Okay. Yeah, so today, like you guys have already seen, I'm going to talk about the visa process. Okay, how I got my visa, how I can also get yours. Yeah, so stick around and let's get right into the video. Right now I'm going to be looking at my phone. I've jotted a couple of things so I don't miss out any document that you guys need. So yeah, so like you guys know, the visa process for Canada is a whole lot. Okay, it's a different ball game altogether. And if you don't get it right at once, you might have to try again. And I've seen people that have tried again and again and again and again. Okay, because these visas are not even smiling. They are not smiling at all. So you just have to know the right steps, just have to know the right things. Sorry about the noise. You just have to know the right things to do, so you can just get it once. I did my own just once. I did not have to apply a second time. Okay, so you just have to know the right documents, you have to write the right procedures, how to just basically get things right after once, so you don't have to keep coming back and keep reapplying. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and not to waste much of your time. Okay, so the first thing you have to know is that before you start applying, you must have gotten your admission. Like I already talked about in my last video, how to get your admission. You must have already gotten your admission. You must have already secured your unconditional offer of acceptance from a designated learning institution. Okay, your school must be a designated learning institution. Okay, that is recognized by the Canadian government. Okay, yeah. So you can go ahead. I will leave the link in the description box, the RSC website, where you can search for designated learning institutions. Okay, are they in Canada? So there are a lot of them, colleges, universities. Okay, there are a lot of them. So you just have to know the one like that you already applied to and you already gotten your admission. Okay, so when you already had your letter of acceptance and you already paid your deposit fee, if it's required by your school before you proceed to apply for visa, that's fine. Okay, so for if you're applying, there's different stages of visa application. You can either be a sponsor for yourself, or you can either be a sponsor. You can either be sponsored by your parents. You can either be sponsored by your sister or your brother or your cousins. Some people even go as far as getting sponsors from their uncles, sponsorship from their uncles, their aunties. There are even some. I've even seen some people that have gotten sponsorship from companies, church, distant relations. So just know the right people. And when you're getting all these sponsors, we'll still talk about them when we get deeper into the video. Okay, you just have to make sure you bring enough evidence along with your application that this person has been involved with you all the days of all through your life. Okay, and not just somebody because you want to apply for visa, you just went and brought that the person from nowhere. Okay, gosh. So these visa officers are all, would you just keep quiet? So these visa officers are just looking out for all of these things. So they just want to make sure that this person that you're bringing as your sponsor, is going to see you through all the period you're going to. You said you will stay in Canada. It's not just somebody that you just want to use as a sponsor. Let it be that this person truly is the one sponsoring you, seeing you through your days in Canada, right? So yeah, the first document that we are going to be looking at for those that are having their post. So the first document that you need, the first document that you need when applying for visa, like I already said in my previous video, is your travel document. You need your passport, your international passport, right? So yeah, you're supposed to have your passport by this time, because I know you must have applied for your school and you must have gotten your admission. So of course you have your passport already with you, right? So yeah, your passport is your number one document, that you need for your application, your visa application, or even your visa, your admission app. Okay, so you need to have a photocopy of the barcode of the biodata of your passport ready, and it has to be a colored passport. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, because we're no longer doing the paper application, right? Everything is now online, right? So you just have to have the barcode and your passport basically. And now you must, like, now right now you have to have, like, we Nigerians, when you're applying for your passport, your national identity number must be in the passport. Okay, and so your national identity number, in your information, your details, your name, everything in your NIN must be the same as your name and your date of birth and everything in your passport. So before you must have gotten your passport, these things must be correct. Okay, your details must be correct. So make sure you don't have any mistake in your name, your date of birth, and all of that. Make sure you cross-check your documents before you even apply for anything. Okay, because these visa officers are not even smart. They're always looking out for things like this. So make sure your details are very correct. Okay, and your date of birth is correct. Just basically correct documents. So now for those that apply through the the GC key, which is that's also in the IRCC portal. I'm going to be talking about those. I don't really know much about the new portal. People use the new portal. When I did my own, I applied through through the GC key. I didn't apply through the new portal, but I don't know how I might still talk about the new portal. But right now I'm going to talk about the GC key, portal that you can use, that you can apply through. Okay, so when you log into the IRCC portal and you already filled out the questionnaire, there are a couple of questionnaires, about 20 of them or even more, in the IRCC portal when you apply starting your application. So after filling out and answering all the questionnaires in the IRCC portal, you go ahead to see the list of documents you're supposed to submit. I think the first one is your passport, the second one is your passport photograph, and the third one is your proof of funds and all of that. So you also, before that, you also see a couple of the IRCC application form. They call it the IMM something forms. Okay, one is one is the study permit, documents of the checklist for the study permit, temporary residence permit, family document, and all of that. Okay, you just have to fill out those forms in accordance and answer all the questions here. There are a couple of questions in each IMM forms. Okay, you have to answer them and answer them correctly. There shouldn't be any mistake whatsoever. Okay, make sure that you are in the right mindset when applying to this form, because if there's any little mistake, it's going to have a very big impact on your application, right? So the second list, like I said, is the document checklist for the study permit. Okay, and then also have the application for study permit made outside of Canada. Okay, and then the other form is the family information form, like I already said. And then the next document that you need to get ready as you're applying is your the copy of your the copy of international passport biodata page of your family members or their birth certificates. Okay, you might like during my own time I only use the certificates of my sisters and my brother, and then my parents, yeah, basically I think. Then okay, I used my mom's international passport biodata because she's my sponsor. I use her as my sponsor. So you guys should also know that it's always safer and always good to have your parents as your sponsor. Like it gives you more, it gives the visa officer more, like you're already on a safer side with the visa officer, knowing that the visa officer knows that your parents are your sponsor, not like your cousin. When it's a little bit of an issue is when maybe you're bringing a distant cousin as your sponsor. The visa officer will take you as somebody that is not serious. Okay, but some people still get away with that. And the main thing is just to have enough proof that this person is really your sponsor and see you throughout your stay in Canada. So the next document that we'll be talking about will be your university's unconditional letter of admission, letter of acceptance. Okay, by now, like I said, you must have gotten your admission from a designated learning institution, right? So you have to, they have to attach it along, well, there's already a space for it in the IRCC, application center, the GCK center portal. Okay, so you have to upload that along. And then document you'll be needing for your visa application will be your copy of your letter of employment, from your past employee or your current employers. For those that are still working, for those that are still working in their companies, so you have to have your letter of employment. You can either go to your company and ask them for a copy of your letter of employment if you don't have it handy. Or I think for those of us that have worked, okay, before you're accepted into any organization or company, you must have gotten your letter of employment, right? So you have to have your letter of employment, and then you have to also have your confirmation of employment. After your letter of employment, there are those that are okay, that will be given a little probation period, okay, and all of that before you're given a confirmation of employment. So you can go ahead and have that also. But for me, I just use my letter of employment. I did not have any confirmation of employment, so that's just an additional document. If you have it, fine. If you don't have it, it's not really a problem. Okay, so you can also have a lot of introduction from your employer, or it's also called a letter of reference or recommendation. Okay, I just had my letter of a recommendation from your employer, so you can either get it from your employer, from anybody that you're working with. But if you're sponsoring yourself and you have a company, you can just if you have anybody that you're working with, you can just write a letter of a lot of introduction recommendation for you, or you can even leave it. It's not really a necessity, especially if you're sponsoring yourself. If you're not working, if you're not working for somebody, okay, you can just go ahead and just let it be. Okay, yeah. So then the next thing, the next document I want to talk about right now, I'm going to talk about it later. Let me just list out these ones that are just minor. We'll still get into the main documents that you need for your visa application, right? So just these ones down. We'll still get on to the main ones. So the next one will be your employment slip, your pay slips for the past maybe 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. So okay, so you have to get your pay slips if you're, like I said, if you're working for somebody, if you're even if you have your own company, right? You can also get your pay slips from your company, your transaction lists, your slips and all of that, from your company. Then and then have a copy of your own birth certificate. Okay, as you're getting your birth certificate of your family members, you should also have a copy of your birth certificate, right? So now the next document you will be needing will be your copy of your police character certificate. For now, this the police certificate is not really a necessity. It's not really important right now. Okay, these visa officers are no longer looking. It's no longer a necessity. It's no longer something that is so important in your visa application. You can either get it if you want to, you can, or you can just leave it if you don't have any means of getting it, right? But I did mine. Yeah, I did mine. Okay, but right now I think it's the fee is a little bit higher right now. Right now it's seriously it's seriously in high demand. I don't know why these people like keep increasing the price. It's getting, the price is going higher and higher and higher. You can hardly get a police clearance as cheap as when I did my own. I did it for 8,000. Okay, right now it's higher. It's way higher than that right now, but you can either get it if you have the funds, or you can just leave it. It's not so important, right? So then the next document you'll be needing will be a copy of your West African Examination Council. Okay, that's your WAEC. Okay, the certificate, your WAEC certificate, you need it handy. Okay, so you should have the copy of your West African Examination Council. Okay, so your your senior secondary certificate. Okay, you have it already when you're applying for your school. You already have it, right? So that's also a document for your visa application. Now the next document will be your degree certificate or your school certificate. You can also get your transcript. Okay, you can get your transcript and also attach it along. Okay, no, it's not even you should get your transcript. Okay, and attach it along. Like I said, you already gotten your admission, right? So when you're getting admission, you must have gotten your transcript. So you have to get your transcript ready also for visa application, right? Yeah. So the next document will be the copy of your national certificate of national service. For those of us that have done NYSC, you should get your NYSC ready. It's not really much of a concern. You shouldn't bother yourself if you've not done your NYSC, or if you're still doing your NYSC and you want to apply for visa and you're not yet done with NYSC. You can just leave it. Okay, but if you have it handy, of course you should attach it. Any document that you feel is important to you and you need it, and you feel you should submit for your visa, of course you can go ahead and submit them. And then the next document that is very also important, very important, is your resume. You have to have an updated resume. I talked about an updated resume in my last video when I talked about the how to get the documents for your admissions. Okay, so you have to have an updated resume, so that the visa officer will see the course you are going for. If you're going for a course that is related to your work experience, that's you will see the experience in your resume, right? Or even if you're going for a course that you did in your undergraduate level, you will see everything in your resume. So you must have an updated resume, a resume that is not all over the place, well organized and well articulated, right? So yeah. So the next document you should also need in is your professional certificates. For those of us that have professional certificates, you can just attach any of them if you have them. If you don't have, of course that's not a problem, but if you have them, you can attach. I had some professional certificate courses that I did, and I attached a couple of them, almost all of them. In fact, any document that you feel that you need, any certificate that you know that you have, okay, you can attach it along and just have enough evidence, okay, that you're well grounded. Yeah. So and then the next documents you'll be needing will be your digital passport. Okay, like I said, in the GCK portal, there's always a space for digital passport. You must have a digital passport ready, that you upload online. Then so yeah, now let me talk about the sponsor. If those of us that are using sponsors, okay, you have to let me talk about the documents that your sponsors, either your father, either your mother, that you will be using, that your mother or your father will need to bring, for those that are using sponsors, like I said. So the first document that your sponsor need to have to bring or to give you will be the letter of sponsorship. Okay, the letter of sponsorship, if it's your father or your mother, talks about, or how this person is my daughter, and how I have enough funds to sponsor or see my daughter or my son through this college, through this period of stay in Canada, and how we are able and to sustain her stay in Canada, and to provide for all of her needs and all of that. It's more like so it's called a letter of sponsorship from your father or your mother or anybody that is sponsoring you, basically. Okay, so then the second one is the copy of the sponsor's letter of employment. If your father or your mother is working from, they should bring a letter or a copy of the letter of employment from their workplace. Okay, but if they have a private business, they can also get just a letter of a letter headed letter from their own company. So yeah, it's basically, if they have business certificates, that can get their business documents. So those, because that like my mom also attached her business, and also attached her business documents. Okay, so those of us that have registered businesses. Okay, so yes, before I go to the next document, if you're also sponsoring yourself, you should also, if you have a registered business already, you should also attach your business document. Like me, I attach my business document. I attach all documents I know I have. I attach my business because I have a registered business with the corporate affairs commission. So you have to have your document ready and ready to present it. If your sponsor also have it, of course, it's also an evidence, it's also a proof that I have something that to show that I can sponsor you, I can sustain you, I can pay for your admission and pay for your tuition and pay for your upkeep and all of that, right? So your sponsor can also get a tax clearance certificate. Okay, and I don't really know much about this because I didn't bring it. Okay, my mom that had a business document didn't bring any of this. Okay, just brought her letter of sponsorship and business document, basically. And then the next one should be the pay slips. Like I said, if you're also sponsoring yourself, you also have to get your pay slips from your workplace or from your business, and your sponsor can also get their pay slips, right? So yeah, then the next one will be the sponsor employment ID card. If your sponsor has is working in a company, have to get your sponsor's ID card. Even if you're also in your company, if you're working for somebody, you have to get your ID card. I didn't really use my ID card, okay, because before I applied my visa, I already left my workplace. I already left the workplace, so I didn't need to submit my ID card. I only brought the letter of recommendation and my employment letter, from there. Okay, but I didn't submit my work ID card. Okay, but if you have yours, okay, you can submit it. It's also an added a document that can boost your application. Okay, if your sponsor has it, good. And then your sponsor should also have a copy of his or her national international passport. Okay, so yeah, that one is also, like I said, I brought my mom's I submitted my mom's international passport, the biodata page. Okay, then if your sponsor have any landed property, if your sponsor have any property, a car, a house, a land, a business, just whatever kind of property that your sponsor has, to show that you have enough funds to sponsor you, of course, you can go ahead and submit these documents. Okay, and then the next document that your sponsor would be needing is like the most important document, of course, for your sponsor to show that he is capable of sponsoring you is a statement of account. Okay, like I said, I wanted to like leave these points for another time, for not sorry, not another time, for like, you know, when we get deeper into the video. Okay, so when we get it deeper, as I'll explain better. But okay, like we already gotten into half of the video, so let me just, you know, go ahead and explain. So here for the statement of account, for, let me start with your own. If you're sponsoring yourself, if you're not bringing along any sponsor, if you're sponsoring yourself, you can have your statement of account. And then when you're having your statement of account, like in the RCC portal, you will see that if for you to show a good statement of account, you should have your 1 year tuition down in your statement of account. Aside, even if you've already paid for, even if you've okay, if you've paid for your first semester fee, that's fine, and you already have the receipt. Of course, you submit it along with your application. But if you've not paid your tuition at all, and only paid like the deposit, you have to show a 1 year tuition fee down in your statement of account, and then 10,000 Canadian dollars, you know, miscellaneous fee. Miscellaneous for just about anything. You have to have a 1 year tuition fee and 10,000 Canadian dollars in your account to show that these funds are available, readily available for your tuition, for your stay in Canada, at least for 1 year. Okay, that's so the living expenses, the 10,000 Canadian dollars is for your living expenses for 1 year. Okay, so outside your 1 year tuition, you must have your 10,000 Canadian dollar living expense. So calculate the 10,000 Canadian dollar living expense and your 1 year tuition. That is the amount you have to have in your account. But if you're sponsoring yourself, this one actually is for those that have sponsors. But if you're sponsoring yourself, I think even if it's a 1 year course or a 2 year course, you have to have both the year. If it's a 1 year course, you have to have the 1 year tuition fee. If it's a 2 year course, you have to have the 2 year tuition fee, because you're sponsoring yourself, right? You're not having any sponsor attached to you. Okay, so you have to have the visa officer requires to have, if you're sponsoring yourself, to both the 2 year tuition fee in your account, and also the living expense, the 10,000 Canadian dollars living expenses. Okay, so you have to have them in your account. If you're having a sponsor, you can just present just 1 year tuition and then your living expense, which is the 10,000 Canadian dollars living expenses. Okay, so yeah, that is that for the statement of account. And then your statement, you must build your statement of account for at least 6 months before you apply for your study, for your study permit. Okay, you can't just open an account today and you're applying for, and then boom, bring in huge amount of money to your account and then apply for visa. No, that is a huge red flag. The visa officers will like there's some people I'm not laughing, but there's some people actually that applied today, and visa officer don't even they don't even have to like wait for 1 month to reject the person. Like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they already saw rejection on the person's application, like, because like the red flags in the person's application like are much, like your statement of account, your documents, your what's it called, your statement of purpose, your like everything is disorganized, and they're like confused about your application. There's nothing to show that you're really interested or ready to even go to or study in Canada, right? So you don't have to be in this situation. You don't need to put yourself in this situation. Okay, so you have to make sure that you're calmly calculating your documents and bringing them along, and just gathering them small, little by little. No, don't rush anything, because if you're rushing applying to Canada, you make mistakes. Okay, because these things can be very tricky. Okay, you don't have to rush. You don't have to be in a hurry to enter Canada. You have to give yourself time. Like I said in my last video, you have to give yourself time. Even if you give yourself 1 year, it's not too much. I'm telling you, if you give yourself 1 year to enter Canada, it's not too much. I'm telling telling you. Okay, so you just have to take your time and do these things, because you don't want to, keep coming back and coming back and coming, because these visa officers, I am telling you, they're ready to deny you visa. For those that, sorry, not you, Sha, not you, for those that don't want to calm down and do the right thing. Okay, they are ready to deny visas. Like, they want you to keep coming until you get it right. They don't want to admit you into their country, right? But they don't want anybody that will give them headache in their country, or they don't want to have applications that will give them headache. So they want you to get it right and just get it right at once. So you must get it right. And for there are some others that also that they are they just I don't know, Sha, but these visa officers, it's always good to get it right, because these things, waiting for a Canada admission will teach you patience. It will make you want to, like, it will humble you, basically. Okay, so just have to get it right at once. Calm down and do it. Calm down and do it. And those of us that are using agents, make sure you follow up your agents. Make sure you follow up your agents and keep asking them, what are the documents you're submitting. That, okay, what other document do you need? If they say no, you know that what's it called? So agents that will see these IMM forms in the website, and they tell you no, it's not important, or they'll tell you, oh, statement of purpose is not important, you don't need to write it. I'm not telling you. So you have to know these things. You have to know these things for yourself, even if you're using an agent. Okay, so yeah, yeah, covered a lot of things for this visa. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you the other ones that the most important one that you need to bring. outside all of this outside all of this, the most important one is your statement of purpose, like I mentioned some minutes ago. Okay, your statement of purpose is the raw document of them all. Like, the visa officers are not, they will look at all of your other documents, the IMM and all of that, but the one they're looking at for is your statement of purpose. If you don't get it right in your statement of purpose, you are prepared to be rejected. Like, just be prepared to be rejected. Okay, it's not my prayers for you, sorry. But yeah, you just have to get it right in your statement of purpose. Okay, I might show you guys my own statement of purpose. If you guys watch my videos, I will read out my statement of purpose. If you don't watch my videos and you don't like it, you don't subscribe, but yeah, this statement of purpose is the number one. Okay, you must have the right words in your statement of purpose. They're looking at for that. They want to know, they want to, because you're not having an interview with them, right? A physical interview with them. So that statement of purpose you've written is the one that is going to introduce you to them. Okay, the one they're going to, like, if they're reading your statement of purpose, let it be that they're seeing you and they're talking directly to them. So you must get the right words in your statement of purpose. If you can't write, like, okay, if you can't write, you can give it to somebody and pay the person. Somebody that is very sure that will get it right for you. Okay, there's some people that will not give it to somebody. They will complicate issues. So you have to get it right in your statement of purpose. Your statement of purpose contains your introduction, your school, what you've already done from your past. You just have to explain your life and just basically why you're entering Canada, why you chose the course you chose, why you're studying, your purpose of visit. Okay, if it's clear to them, you have to make it clear that your purpose of visit is to study in Canada. Okay, not for Jangolova or to Bapalo Ringo for if you know what I mean. Okay, they want to make sure that you know what you're going for. Okay, they want to make sure that you indeed want to go to Canada to study. Okay, and then at the end, they want to know if you're ready to leave Canada at the end of your stay. Even though me and you know that you're not leaving Canada, but they want to know that you're leaving Canada at the end of your stay. So all these things must be in your statement of purpose, and it must be very clear to them. Okay, all these documents you already gathered and submitted to them, you have to attach them in the statement of purpose and explain each and every one of them. Not like you get one and explain. No, and that's not what I mean. You have to generally explain and talk about the documents you've presented to them. There is a space in the IMM form where you're asked to provide your history, your personal history for the past 10 years, something like that. Okay, So here, even I think even the new portal, I think they have a requirement for that. Okay, so here your personal history. Some people get it like I've had a couple of questions, you know, people asking me do how is it written, how, because sometimes if you don't get it right, you can in the new portal, if you don't write, if you don't, you know, accordingly, you know, write your personal history like according like, you know, step by step by step, it will take you to the next page. Do you understand? So in the GC key, like I said, I did not use the new portal, I used the GC key. So in the GC key, there is only space for 1, 2, and 3, and you're expected to write the personal history for the past 10 years, right? So what I did during my own time was to go ahead and write out a separate, you know, write out a separate, just wrote it separately from the IMM form. Okay, I just went and typed it separately, you know, and attached my with my document, with my application when I started applying. Okay, just have to write it out. If it can't, of course there's no way it will enter in the IMM, you know, from your personal history for the past 10 years. There's no way everything will go into the IMM form. So you can just to be on the safer side, I can just write it or print it out or type it out separately and then attach, you know, print it out and then or snap or just, you know, scan it and then attach along with your visa documents. Okay, so how you can write it is from the number one, you have to write from your current, what you're doing currently at that particular moment. That is what you're going to write from number one. Then downwards, you keep saying what you've done with your life. If you've been schooling, if you've been working, if you've been, you know, down to when you maybe when you wrote your YEG or that. Okay, so just anything you've done from that current, you know, moment, that your current moment, say, or the past 10 years, you have to write it down what you've been doing. Okay, then the next document that is also important for your visa application is not so important, for many people don't have it, is your NIN. You can attach your NIN along with your visa application, and also you can attach your family picture. If you have your family picture along with you, okay, you can attach your family picture with you. It's very, very okay, it's very, very good. Okay, if your mommy or your daddy is the one sponsoring you, okay, they will see you and your family members, right? Even if you have and you're using another sponsor, you can even get a picture of both of you together, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, you know, whoever you're using as your sponsor. You can get a picture of them, you and them, if you have any. But if you don't have any, it's still okay, sha. When you've gathered all these documents and more, if you have any other one, personal one, that you feel you should attach along with your application, then you can go ahead and attach them. Then when you've gotten these documents ready, and it's now time to upload them, now you in the GCK portal, you already know that there's a space for each document. Attaching each document, there's space for international passport, there's space for your passport photograph, there's space for your proof of fund, there's a space for your additional documents outside the IMMM forms. You know, there's space for your letter of acceptance from your designated institution. Okay, so right now, you from your application, the IMM, you know, 1294, which is the application for study permit made outside of Canada, you've already filled the form, and you've uploaded and you've saved it, you know, in the study in the portal. Then you keep that one. You don't need to. That is the only thing you have to upload in that space. You don't need to upload anything along with that. Okay, and then your passport that is required, you all just upload only your international passport. You don't attach any other document in that space. And to let you guys know, the GCK portal only requires 4 MB for each space. You know, you don't have to exceed it. You can't exceed 4 MB. The new portal is only 2 MB. You know, you can't exceed 2 MB for the new portal. So you have to choose the one, you know, one of them, you know, the one, you know, that your documents, if your documents are big and you've compressed and it's getting to like 4 MB, you know, you have to, choose the GCK portal. Either portal as you accept. So after that, then there's also a space, like you said, in the portal for your letter of acceptance. So you have to upload your letter of acceptance from the school. And then that is the only thing you need to upload in that space. You don't need to upload any other document in that space. So now for the space for the proof of means of financial support, which is your proof of financial, so you have to, for the space for the proof of financial support, you have to upload your sponsorship letter in that space. You have to upload your affidavit of support from your sponsor. You have to upload the bank statements from your sponsor. That's your, if your bank statements are big, you can get an MBS. MBS is my bank statement from your bank. If you go to the MBS portal, there are a list of banks that offer my bank statement. So you can either go to the bank and get just a copy, the certificate of my bank statement, and that's that for you. Instead of getting the bank statement that can be up to 200 pages. I've seen bank statement that are up to 300 pages, right? Because you have to get your bank statement from of 6 months. So you don't want to gather those kind of, even though I gathered that my own term during my own time. I did not have to go for MBS. Okay, I think that was when MBS came out newly, so I didn't know much about it. I just took my MBS and my own bank statement just like that. Okay, and thankfully everything entered in the portal. So if you don't have if your documents are large, I know they will not fit into that proof of funds space, you can just go ahead to your bank and get my bank statement, and just go to your bank and ask them, if they offer my bank statement. Of course, I know UB offers, I know First Bank offers, I know GTP offers, I know Zenith Bank offers. You can just go ahead and get it from your bank. Okay, and then after in there also, you also attach your pay slips, your sponsor source of income, that your sponsors employment letter, your introduction letter from your employer, your business certificate, your tax clearance certificate, article of association, and all those kind of documents from your work, from your sponsor's workplace or from your own workplace. Okay, and then include your already paid tuition receipt if you've paid any. Okay, if you've paid your deposit, you include it there. If you paid your full tuition, of course you include it there. So you have to put all these into a PDF and upload. And like I said, remember they can't be more than 4 MB for the file. Okay, so right now, so go over to the digital photo, just your digital photo, that it should be between 60 KB to 240 KB, the Canadian passport style. Okay, so now after the digital portal, you have to fill in the family information, the IMM family information, complete it, save it, and upload in the portal. Okay, so now the next one is your application for temporary resident visa made outside of Canada. That's the IMM 5257. Okay, it's also required. You have to complete it, save it, and upload it into the portal. You don't have to attach any other document along with this. All the IMF forms are on their own. You don't have to attach any document along with them, right? So the next one will be the supporting documents, which is the client information. Okay, the client information. Yeah, all these documents I mentioned earlier that you have to bring. This is where you bring all of them, where you upload all of them. Okay, so you have to upload, like I said, your statement of purpose is the number one. The number one thing you're going to attach in the PDF. Okay, and then your degree certificates, you have to attach your transcript, your birth certificate, the birth certificate of both your parents and yours as well, and your siblings as well, and then your recommendation letter from past present employers. You also attach your NYSC document, your discharge certificate from your NYSC, and your work ID. You also attach your employment letters. Okay, and then your resume. Okay, and all the supporting documents like your certificates, your professional certificate, and your degree certificate. Like, okay, I already talked about degree certificate. Any other document, your family picture should also go into that space. Okay, so you just have to compress them. I think that I love PDF compresses documents very well. You can just go online and search for PDF compressors, okay, and make sure they are up to 4 MB and nothing more than that. All right, then after that, that's it. Then once you've uploaded all the documents and you've gathered all the documents and uploaded them, and you've already you have to carefully label each one. You write your name when you've already attached them, your PDF. You write your full name very well, and then save, and then upload them. And then now when you after uploading them, you have to go ahead and pay for your visa. You're going to pay for both your visa application and your biometrics at the same time, and they are, I think, 235 Canadian dollars, if I'm getting it right. No, I don't know, but I think they're about 235 Canadian dollars, I think so. And then you have to pay for that, and then submit your application. You've submitted application right now, right? So yeah, so after you submitted your application, your visa application, it takes just 1 day or even that same day for visa application, for visa officer IRCC to send you your biometric request letter, okay, instruction letter. So you have to go for your biometrics. You have to book for your biometrics online. You can't go into any of the biometrics the visa center to apply or to book for biometrics. You have to book your biometric online. You have to go to the IRCC website. Make sure you've gone to the IRCC website and you've read enough, as in you've read all the instructions there. You've studied the IRCC website. You've researched for more and more every day, for their own information coming up every day in the IRCC website. You have to go to there and then get your information and know where to put it, this and this and this and this and this, okay. So in the IRCC website, you'll find the address for each visa centers for each location. All right, so you get there, go online and book your application, and then go for your application, go for your biometrics whenever you must have booked for it. So after visa application, I also forgot, you can decide to do your medicals before applying for your medicals. Like I said, you can go ahead and do your upfront medicals. It's not a problem, okay. You can, before you submit your application, you can do your medicals. You can decide to do your medicals before you submit your application, or you can decide to wait for IRCC to give you your medical request letter, okay, after you must have submitted your application. But if you've not heard from IRCC for 1 or 2 or 3 months, it's advisable that you go ahead and do your medicals, okay. And then once you've done your medicals and uploaded the slip, you've raised the web form and uploaded your slip through the web form, and let us that you've gone ahead to do your upfront medicals. It reminds the IRS, the visa officer, of your application, basically, okay. So you can go ahead and do your medicals either upfront or after you must have submitted your application, or when you get your medical request from IRCC, okay. So either way, it's still okay. And then after you must have uploaded your medicals, and then after sometimes medicals get takes 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 weeks before it gets uploaded in your portal, okay. So you have to wait patient, and then after your medicals, your eligibility starts. Whether you're going to be approved or rejected, you must go through the eligibility criteria requirement, okay. So the eligibility, they are checking if you meet the requirements to enter Canada or not. All right, so yeah, after medicals is your eligibility, and then after eligibility, then your decision comes. So that's basically it for the visa application. If you still have any other question you want to ask me, you can go ahead and ask it in the comment section. Don't forget to like if you watched up to this point and you've not liked. My dear loved one, what are you waiting for? Okay, so just go ahead and like and subscribe and share the video, okay. If you don't watch my previous video, go ahead and watch it, okay. Yeah, show your girl some love, and then watch, and then like and subscribe my videos, okay. Watch out for more videos from me, okay. I'll try as much as possible to be very consistent. What again? Bye.